टेक्नोलॉजी ना जब भी आती है तो लोग ही फट जाती है।
कि भारत के युवा पढ़ाई के साथ ही स्किल में भी उतने ही दक्ष हों।
Welcome back, friends, to Skill Raptor, and I am your host Atharva. Today, we are going to talk about how to choose different thermodynamic property packages. But before I go to the actual decision making tree which I want to show you, let me first show you what exactly the ideal gas looks like if we simulate it. So, you can see on my screen there is a simple simulator, it's a box, and I have a pump wherein I can pump air. So, let me just pump some air. Okay. Now you can see the gas, these are the gas particles basically. So when you say it is an ideal gas, so what we assume is every gas particle is having a negligible weight or negligible mass. That is the first assumption. Second assumption is these gas particles are inert, so they are not reacting with each other. Another assumption is these gas particles are not having any intermolecular forces. This means there is no polarity. And definitely, mm, after some pressure, the the volume or the density changes of the gas. So when I add more pressure, about 10 atmosphere, you can see it has been observed that after 10 atmosphere there is a change in the density, and density will actually vary. So these are few parameters which we need to understand before we go to a decision tree. But what exactly is the ideal gas? And you will see that there will be in a decision tree there will be a parameter wherein you have to decide certain models using pressure. That is purely because when pressure increases about 10 atmosphere, it is assumed that the gas is actually not ideal, and you need to have some special cases or special equations to solve such states. Now let us go to the decision making tree, and you will be happy to know that I have actually found a gold mine. It's a fantastic decision making tree which I have got. So let me just show you in the full screen. Okay, so which model to select? One industrial approach, use of decision trees. So this was published by Carlson in 1996. Chemical Engineering Progress. This is a journal name, and this is the page number, I guess, 35. So you can also go to this particular page and download this, but I found this as a very explanatory model in itself. Now you can see the first one is PL, that is polarity. R is real or pseudo components. So real components are the one which we know, and pseudo component is something which we don't account for, but those are taken as an average property. For example, if you are considering a petroleum, so in petroleum there are numerous different chemicals. There are from C1 to C30 or even more than that. Uh, but you assume that there are certain chemicals, certain hydrocarbons which are actually there inside. So you don't consider everything. So that's why they are pseudo components. Of course, electrolyte, you know, that is one of the property in liquid phase, or maybe in gas, is maybe sometimes in gas phase as well. And pressure, as I said, that pressure, you can see 10 bar is a pressure limit, which actually speaks about ideality. Okay, now let me explain you how to basically go about this decision making tree. First of all, you have to make sure that whether your components which you will be using in your simulation, whether they are polar or not. Even if one component is polar, then you have to consider the solution as polar. Now for polar, if you are solving for a polar, if it is yes, then you have to look for whether it is electrolyte or non-electrolyte. If it is electrolyte, the process is simple. You have to consider electrolyte NRTL or Pitzer. If it is a non-electrolyte, then what to do? Then Then comes a decision making point wherein you have to say whether my process is going to be simulated below 10 bar or more than 10 bar. So if it's less than 10 bar, then you have NRTL, Uniquac, Wilson, and their variances. Of course, there are certain extensions which are there, and Unifac LLE that is liquid liquid equilibrium, then unified and its extensions. And if it is P, if it is greater than 10, then there are different equations which are given here. Uh, Peng Robinson or Redlich Kwong Sauve. Then again there are certain more equations to that. So this is for polar, and say now it is non-polar. Now what to do about that? If it is non-polar and if they are having real elements, then you have Peng Robinson, Redlich Kwong, and Lee Kessler Plocker. Now, what is actually the significance of where to use Peng Robinson, Redlich Kwong? So we will be seeing this in the next part. So I will be making a part 2 as well for this to do a deep dive into this so that we actually understand the very nitty-gritties of using these equations. And if it's pseudo and real, then you have, if it is not, again, if the pressure is less than 10, then you have Chow Cedar, Grayson Street, or Brown K10. And if it is a vacuum, if it is like totally vacuum, so you have Brown K10 or ideal. So this is how you will have to read the decision making tree when you are actually trying to use or select a thermodynamic model. We will be looking, we will be taking deep dive into what exactly a Peng Robinson is, how it is different from Redlich Kwong Sauve, and also other equations, how they actually compare with each other and what are the right places to use them. But this is in brief what we are talking about this time. Also, let me show you another page. Now, this is also something very interesting which I found, that they have actually given what kind of chemical systems and what should be the primary choice of the models. So you can see there, if there is an air separation system, then the primary choice is of course Peng Robinson, Sauve, Redlich Kwong, and if it's petroleum processing or petroleum refining, then they have BK10, Cow Cedar, Peng Robinson, and other equations. And also you can see there are equations for polymers, oligomers, and etc. Also, let me also let you know that uh, there are certain more nitty-gritties involved in choosing this, and that we will be looking into the next part of this, where we will try to take some deep dive into particular equations. So next coming upcoming videos will be actually focusing on studying uh, 2 to 3 equations in uh, one video, so that you'll be able to cover most of the equations in less time, and I would not like you to extend your watching limit to more than 10 minutes, so that's why I'm planning like that. So I hope you like this video, and I'm sure you will be going to these papers. These are actually the research papers which I have shown you. You can directly go there. There will be a lot of information available already. If you really like this video and if you want such information, so please kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.